Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for waiting. I know it's been, I remember 16 days since I've been in front of this podium. Lots happened in our nation in that 16 days. Going to reflect on some of that this evening. It was about almost 3 years ago that I started a website called The Rogers White House. And on that website, my vision was to show you how I would manage the job of the presidency. That's a job, that's an institution that I dearly admire and respect. The purpose of the website was, again, to show you what I would do as president. You may have been to it. You may have seen the YouTube channels that say what would I do as president? What events would I do? What bills I would sign? We've been through a lot in the last 4 years. We've had a lot of struggles. We've had good times, and we've had some setbacks. But I'm here to tell you tonight that the mission continues. I will continue to fight for enhanced unemployment in our nation, to ensure that every healthy individual is working and making a living, that everybody has a job. Unemployment rates, when I started this 4 years ago, I had a goal of 3%. We came real close to getting there. We were in the 3.2s, 3.3s at one time. Under my enhanced unemployment plan, we'll get there. Every able-bodied person gets a job. I mean, that's your dignity to have a job. Let's get less people off. Let's get many people we can off welfare and unemployment and get them into the workforce. And I said this time and time again over the last 4 years that you can't imagine the feeling of getting a paycheck for a job well done. It's a great feeling. I know. I remember back in the days when I first got my job at Lee's grocery store in DeSoto, Texas, that you got a paper paycheck. Now it's a direct deposit. You anxiously wait for that direct deposit, but still, it's a reward for doing a good job, a good day's, or a good month's work in some cases. Education. That is first and foremost a priority and would be first and foremost a priority under my administration. We have to have education. There was a lot of talk about eliminating the Department of Education. I wouldn't do it. Let's reimagine let's reimagine DOE. Let's re-engineer it to where it's more suitable for school choice. And when it comes to school choice, every parent in this country, every parent in this country deserves the right to send their child to where they can best get the best education, irregardless of zip code. I remember growing up in Dallas, Texas, going to Dallas schools. You were confined to what schools you went to based on zip code. Now we have charter schools in Texas. You can live in Plano and go to school in Mansfield. You can live in Mansfield and go to school in Plano. It doesn't matter. It's where your parents are, where you think it's best for your child. I'm a firm believer in that. I'm also a firm believer in paying a teacher a livable wage. Been married to one, and we just celebrated our 29th wedding anniversary this week. 29 years. And I know what it's like. I know what teacher pay is, and I've seen it firsthand. I got a lot of teacher friends, and there's some that I've known that are living on the poverty level. Why is that right? Why is it that the very people that we entrust to get our most prized possessions ready for the next generation, get them ready to be successful? Why is it that they're suffering? Back to Basics has got a plan. Is it going to cost some money? Yeah, it is. It's going to cost a little bit of money, but think of the outcome. Think of the education gains. Think of think of teacher pay. The teacher pay will not be an issue under Back to Basics. We won't have teachers living paycheck to paycheck. We won't have teachers living on the poverty level anymore. That'll be fixed. That'll be fixed. And we'll have schools where parents can choose to send their children to whichever school they like. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. And we get back to the basics of school curriculum. We teach our kids the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, the good, the bad, the ugly of history. In the discussion, that's what we do. The key job of a school is when that parent drops them off at 7:30 a.m. and picks them up at 3:15 in the afternoon, the parent hopes that when they drop off their most prized possession, that they're smarter than they were 8 hours ago and safe. Under Back to Basics, we will do that. These are things that the fight will continue. I will do everything I can to get enhanced unemployment through Congress, to get more education funding to our schools. Everybody else can do the same too. You have the right as a citizen to do the same thing I'm doing. I'm just taking it to the extra step. You know, when it comes to foreign affairs, Ukraine, I know that war's been going on for 3 years. And I honestly thought it would be a short war. But here we are approaching into the third year and no end in sight. We've got to continue to support Ukraine. We've got to continue to support these emerging democracies. I believe in that. If you look at how many democracies there are left in this world, there's close to 50, maybe 53. The United States of America, despite our problems, despite our division, despite our polarization, it's still seen as that shining beacon on a hill for all the world to see. These emerging democracies see that as well. They want to be like the United States of America. Now, I'm not going to stand here tonight and tell you that in 250 years, we've done everything perfect. We haven't. I can't stand here tonight and tell you that slavery was right. It was wrong. And that actually gets back to our teaching. We talk about history in school. Excuse me. We don't talk about we need to have a full complete history of this country, not a sanitized version. Our kids need to learn all the things that we thought were good, that now we look back at them, and they were bad mistakes. That's the only way you're going to learn something, and only way you'll learn. Well, we don't need to do this again. That didn't work the first time. That's why it's so important to teach the ABCs, the 1, 2, 3s, the good, the bad, the ugly of history in these classes. But getting back to Ukraine, we have to continue to support these democracies. We cannot let them fall to dictatorships and fall to tyrants and other types of rule. We can't afford that in this world. In Israel and Gaza, that situation has been going on since probably the beginning of time. What happened last October was wrong. Israel does have the right to defend its borders. Does have a right to defend its borders. And we should back one of our oldest allies in this time of need. I believe in a two-state solution, and I know that countless presidents, year after year, administration after administration, have tried to come up with a solution. We've got close, Camp David, and then with President Clinton. And I got a feeling one day we'll get really close and we'll have peace in the Middle East. But these are the priorities that I want to work on the next 4 years. We're not stopping. We are continuing. We're going to start working tomorrow on these issues: enhanced unemployment, education funding, working on Ukraine, working on Israel and Gaza, working on the border. Everything that needs to be taken care of in this country, we're going to work on. We're going to work on. If anything, we're going to be more active this next 4 years than we were the first 4 years that we were in existence at the Rogers White House website. So I encourage everybody to come along for the ride. It is going to be an experience. It's going to be a good experience. I'm a true believer in democracy. What you're going to see, what you're going to hear, are things that I would do as president. And those things are truly in line with what the United States, with the Constitution and with the laws of this country. So climb aboard the Rogers White House Express. Hope I said that right. Rogers White House Express. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you guys. Have a great evening. Thank you.